Greetings, everyone. My name is Puran, and I'm a clinical counselor and clinical supervisor practicing in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And this is part of a series of talk about various aspects of social and cultural concept that we need to apply into psychology in order to understand them or use it as a applied psychology conceptualization for ourselves. I mean, to be able to manage it better. And so I'm hoping that this is a good kind of way of reaching out to people. If you're a mental health practitioner, a clinical counselor, a victim support worker, a social worker, and anyone who is in the field of helping others. This would be a very beneficial educational program for you. And understanding how stress can apply into various aspects or part of life. We usually talk about the stress, however, what is really a stress? A stress can be different things for various of us, different of us. I want to first kind of make a make an example of a different way of being stressed out. I mean, I want to think about people who are new immigrants in a new country, people who are refugees, people who are have left their homeland, people who are starting a new business, people who have a stress because of losing jobs or not having jobs, not having enough income. What happens when we are under stress? And what is a stress? Usually, a stress is situations beyond our capacity to manage it. And what we do usually is, of course, we do fight and flight response and also freeze response. Fight and flight is basically to either we have the ability or mindset to do something about it, or if we don't, we let go of it. In any case, or avoiding situations, not being able to face the reality and so on, could be part of the flight response. And what happens to us? Of course, we know that all research, extended number of research showing our physical system get involved, or various aspects of physical body get involved, and we get shut down in our physical kind of functioning, and the changes that sympathetic mechanism in our body is experiencing can be enormous. At times we have no idea how many changes could be happening. I mean, we say, oh, I am stressed out. However, we don't know really what part of body is getting reacted. So basically, starting with heart rate and thinking about the blood stream in our body. I mean, at times the blood flow in our body is stuck somewhere, or is too much perhaps. And then increase in or kind of decreasing in our breathing. Our breathing gets shallow at times. We get a lot of sweating, and for some people, I mean, they don't sweat at all. So there are different reactions we show. Our eyes are kind of get out of the system, or the pupils, and the physical body is in action of an action and reaction. Definitely, digestive system gets worse, and muscle tension is what we experience, and our cognitive system, our way of thinking changes. At times we feel like, oh, why I cannot remember. I cannot remember what was going on yesterday, what was going on 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, because our cognitive system has been involved or gets impacted, right? So it's important to recognize that because of all the changes, of course, our behavior changes, right? This is cognitive behavior therapy. We know thoughts and behavior and feelings, they all impact one another. And now think about those examples I gave in the beginning. I mean, if you are a new immigrant in a new country, if you are a student in a place out of your home country and you are new to a situation, you have jobs or you do not have jobs, and you fear of for your economy, you fear of not having pension if you're elder, and you fear of not having enough income for your family. So these are all stressful situations, and therefore not only our mind get involved, but our ability to think and freeze and listen and everything gets involved. So what do we need to do? I mean, of course, it's easy to say, oh, you need to be assertive, you need to be able to say what it is, talk to someone, get help. However, it's not very easy to get into that action-oriented mood. And basically, the action-oriented approaches are about be able to talk and get help and manage your time. At times, because of the stress, our time management gets worse. I mean, over the years, I have seen so many people who are very wise and kind of mindful people. However, they say, I don't know why I'm losing the time, why I cannot manage time, because of too much stress of how they are willing to take care of certain situations. Therefore, it's important if there are stressful situations with your families, for example. In the situation family members are causing stress for one another, of course, creating boundaries would be helpful. At times, we have too much of negativity in our head, and we need to get them out of our head. Talking to someone, writing them down, and kind of reflecting on them would be very helpful. At times we need to use emotion-oriented approaches. What are they? Basically, we need to kind of affirm ourselves and validate ourselves. Our emotions are valid. If we are stressed out, if we are upset, if we are sad or fearful, these are emotions that are really valid concerning the situation that we are in. In any situation we are in, and it's a stressful life we have, we need that affirmation that I'm okay, I'm loved, I can be okay, and I can help myself. And therefore, we need to change the way we think. Cognitive restructuring is about getting those negative things out and let go of the self-blame, the self-hate, and all those feeling guilty and pushing yourself, and restructuring your brain. And at times, the 1, 2, 3 ABC technique would be helpful. What is that? Is about accepting what is right now. What is right now going on? If we have failed the test, if we have failed the job, if we have lost the job, if we have lost home countries, we have lost homes, our family system has changed. And unfortunately, at times, there are divorce happening, and children getting out, children moving out. And there are so many different situations can be stressful for all of us, any of us. Therefore, accepting the situation and starting to work on ourselves and see that it is only we can do something for ourselves, and taking care of our diet and exercise, do some meditation, kind of be mindful about what's going on for us. At times, we have no idea how much resiliency we have. What is resiliency? Is the strength inside, is the ability, is the capacity to work under stress, to kind of tackle the barriers or stressful situations, whatever bad it is, we have resiliency, and at times we need to build on that. We need maybe build our resiliency. I don't think we ever can be without it. We have it inside. We need to find it and then basically take it out in terms of brain to brain talk, conversation, and sharing and finding out what needs to be done more. And then in terms of our physical body, once we are trying to cognitively focusing on stress, we get a lot of we get tired, physical reactions. Therefore, sleeping is very important. So, what are those psychological factors that affect stress? There are many. At times, grief and loss. If you have lost a family member, if you have lost our loved ones, if you have lost jobs again, or situations that we were very much attached to, people we were attached to. Of course, stressful it is, right? And unfortunately, for children who are being abused, being neglected, and they are getting into adult life, always thinking that something has been lost. They have lost their childhood. And again, loss of job and income in terms of divorce, domestic violence is very stressful if there is someone who is abusing the other one and outpowering the other one and beating the other one. Of course, these are stressful situations. And for people who have a low self-esteem, they get even more stressed and distressed because they don't know how to handle their reality and their situation. Therefore, it's important to manage through if you have partners issues. I mean, any stressful situation about job, else, and family, for partners usually becomes an issue. I mean, usually the two people, couples, get into a series of challenges with one another, especially if they are not listening well to one another, and parenting issues, and especially if you are a single parent, that is stressful. And basically our family's health, of course, that is stressful too. And these are situations that you take on one after another. And therefore, once we talk about the stress, we need to understand the layers and layers of situations that we take it on ourselves, we make it ourselves, and we make it our own issue. And then we get into this mental health situation of anxiety, worry, depression, sadness, being upset, being agitated, being easily agitated. And what are the reasons for it? Of course, at times, biological changes. I mean, if we have been ill, if physical illnesses causes a lot of stress in our body. And again, food and food habits, nurturing ourselves, that can be a reason. Today's world, we eat a lot of unfortunately, what is called junk food or fat food, and these are all causing physical issues. That's for sure. Research shows, right? And going back to what is that we need to do, of course, self-resiliency and how we manage through this. What is the meaning of self-resiliency is trying to become dependent, reliant on ourselves, and working on the situations that we have without feeling helpless or inadequate. And self-reliance is about thinking independently. At times we rely too much on others, what the others are telling us to do, especially in collective communities. We always think about what parents are saying, siblings are saying, and extended family members are saying, and what they want us to do. And at the end, we forget about ourselves. Therefore, embracing your individuality, even though you are living in a collective world, is important. With all respect, we cannot live up to everyone's expectation, and we need to be assertive about that. Therefore, knowing your own goals and what you want to do in life is important, and being able to manage it by saying what it is. And of course, self-reliance is important. Again, in families, situation of family or communities, that everyone has a nose for in other person's job, and challenges with lack of boundaries, etc. So self-reliance becomes problem, right? So that's something we need to teach it to others, and ask them to keep some boundaries for us. Therefore, how do we develop self-reliance? Is by accepting who we are and being our own best friend. You know what? We live in a world today that everyone is trying to be like others. There are some models in our head, in our communities, in social media. People want to be like them, and therefore, all the facial jobs they do, all the changes they are trying to make uh, for looking like whoever it is. I mean, you are not your own friend if you are not yourself, right? It's hard. Therefore, inner confidence is very important. If you are your own friend, you have your own confidence, however you look like, who you are, with what kind of economy, what kind of life. We don't always need a brand name bag to be confident. We can be confident by having something to share, or having a knowledge about something, or helping others. We can be confident, and we show it by our actions. Therefore, it's important to we make our own decisions, and be able to stay on our decisions. Even if we make bad decisions, that's okay, we can learn from it. And hopefully we recognize and manage our dependency, self-dependency. That's what I'm talking about. And in that sense, we start to accept ourselves for who we are. Accepting means a holistic way of looking at what we have, what we do, who we are, and who is around, who loves us, who doesn't love us, and what kind of life challenges we have. So having your own values and knowing about your values, what is good or bad, what is proper and improper, what is respect and honesty and integrity. These are good values, right? And not relying on things to feel happiness. Again, today world, we rely too much on the things as the surface-based material that supposedly want to show us we are confident, or powerful, or good enough. Nothing can be good enough if we do not feel good enough inside, right? So decide who you want to be and how you want to get there. You are the one who can help yourself. And at the end, we have to know that there are some benefits of stress. I mean, stress motivates us to do something. Stress is a fuel for life. I mean, gets us going, gets us wake up in the morning, do something, right? And the reason for successful stories, and listen to all good people or big people in who have managed through a lot, they have gone through tons of stress. So stress is not a bad thing. How we handle it can be problematic. So that therefore responses to stress at times, if it's denial, if it's avoidance, if it's or exposure, then we do different things. If it's exposure and we cannot expose ourselves enough and we avoid because we do not want to expose ourselves to the challenges, then of course we cannot solve the problem properly. And at times we become really numb and we live with worries because mental stress has taken over, and worries, obsession, and negative belief is out there. So therefore worry and the chain of thoughts and negative images that are coming to our mind, we need to work on that. And all those chain of catastrophic thoughts that are constantly telling us the world is bad, everything is bad, there is nothing to trust, then we have to work on this, right? Therefore, we cannot handle stress if we are not on top of it. We need to understand our reasons and responses to situations that are most important factor in dealing with stress. And the challenges in interpersonal relationship at times, of course, causing a lot of stress and distress, as mentioned before. And also, what are the ways we are coping with stress? Alcohol, drugs, that at times, unfortunately, a lot of different ways to handle stress. And what is the fastest way to relieve stress? I mean, recognizing when you're stressed out, knowing about that, being mindful of the stress, and observing your physical body, your muscles and insides, observing your breath, and identifying your stress response, knowing how you handle your stress response. Are you flying, fighting it? Are you facing it? Are you staying and recognize the problem and work on it? There are different ways to handle it. Therefore, at times we get excited, and then at times we get underexcited. We don't know how to handle a certain situation. And that's why we need to use our senses. What are the senses? Sense of seeing, a sense of hear, smell, and sense of not only a smell, sense of taste, touch, and hearing. These are all good things, and movement. And again, yes, the touch and taste is here, sounds, and knowing that our sensory inspiration, I mean, our memories are working. At times, our five senses and even more. We have more senses, not only five senses, the sense of self, the sense of others, sense of the world. These are all impacting our memories and interaction with others. Therefore, making a quick stress relief becomes a habit. I mean, at times we need to learn every day to handle situations, and unfortunately, it's a stressful life we have, a stressful world we have. Therefore, we identify and target the stress and test drive it to see how we can handle it. And we hopefully have fun with the process by talking about it and practicing wherever you are. And basically at times by knowing that there are different ways to do it. At times people go for entertaining themselves, they go to the kitchen, find something to eat, children, relationship, they sleep, and creating a space for sanctuary. And yes, at work, yeah, at times we have meetings to go to, be on the phone, be on the computer, lunch break, your work is, but anyways, we need to be mindful about how we are handling those different situations. And even once we are in traffic or public transportation and running errands, waiting lines, what are stress responses? What kind of stress responses we have is good to know. And at the end, it's good to take a lot of notes for ourselves, journal, reflect on how we are responding to stress that is never ending. I mean, never ends. It never ends. We have a life, an economy, and situations that are unfortunately maybe is not getting better. However, we need to respond to them in a better way. Hopefully, by more being yourself, by being confident enough, by having fun, by making situations easier. We can always make a choice if we want to make the situation easier or harder. And if you decide to make it easier, then now hopefully you know what to do. Take care of yourself and have better stress response next time. Bye bye.